Aloha everybody, shalom, how's it going? We're here for the first quarter activation, which means we're 1 week into this monthly cycle. This reading is both for the collective consciousness as well as the individual, because as it is with one, so it is with all. Right here, it's where I'm at in the world anyway, it's before 9 o'clock a.m., so it's not even 9 a.m., so for me it's a little bit earlier than we usually do the activation, but it's awesome. I'm ready for a message for the day. So while I'm setting up here, while I start to shuffle the cards, let me know in the comments where in the world you're tuning in from. Again, I'm tuning in from the lovely Sedona, Arizona. Where in the world are you? And remember that this video will be recorded and the recording will be loaded to YouTube and Instagram Rebecca Magic for those who are not on Facebook if you end up wanting to share this message with someone, okay? And while we're live, feel free to share this video with a family member or a friend who could use an uplifting message right now. Maybe you want to share this video with a favorite group on Facebook while we're live. Get them in the portal while we're live. Otherwise, feel free to share the recording at the end. Maybe you know someone who could help empower this message and activate it further. Feel free to share this with them as well. We have UK in the house. Arizona in the house. And remember, when we're shuffling the deck, really what we're doing is just connecting with all of the different parts of self, because the deck represents the whole self and each card is a different part. So we're just touching each part, saying hello to each part, waking up the whole self. New York in the house, Colorado in the house. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and take out my Hebrew cards from our little magic treasure chest. A lot of you have been asking me when I'm gonna make more Hebrew decks. I know a lot of you have been wanting them, literally asking me for years now. I haven't made them yet, but I promise I will eventually, and you will all know when they come out. They look like this. And remember, we're looking at them on a camera, so they're gonna be flipped. Indiana in the house, Florida in the house. And for those of you coming here for the first time, welcome. For those of you who are returning, welcome back. The Hebrew cards work the same way as the tarot. Each card represents a different aspect of self or a different piece of archetypal wisdom. So we're just shuffling them and saying hello to every part. For everybody just coming, welcome. West Virginia in the house. Feel free to share this video while we're live. Share it on your page, share it with a favorite group, family, friends who could use an uplifting message. Alrighty, we're ready to begin. So thank you in advance to the archetypes, faces of the one, for this message that's about to come through. That means thank you, thank me, thank we, thank one, because we are all a part of these archetypes, which make up the great grand architect, the one. Yay, Wisconsin in the house, Ireland in the house. So we're just giving thanks for this message that's about to come through, acknowledging that we're 1 week into the cycle, so this message is going to help guide us through this part of the cycle in particular. We're asking to receive a message that's going to guide us with the most grace and ease through this part of the process, so that we can use our energies most efficiently together as one to move through this part of the cycle. Starting with the tarot, we are so thankful for this message that's about to come through. The focus of the week, which is also known as the challenge and gift. Okay, I feel like that's the only one today. I'm not going to pull a second one from there today, or a third. so we have just the focus with the tarot, and then with the Hebrew letters, as usual, we'll ask for the ally of the week. All right, so what is our focus at this time? Page of Pentacles. And I don't know who is in our private group on Facebook called Shabbat Crew, but that's where we talk about Kabbalah and Jewish mysticism. And right now we're in the middle of a 4 high holiday sequence that holds keys and codes for our evolution. And this reading, I already can see, is going to be directly in alignment with that. So if you want to enhance this process right now for yourself and for the one, please join us in our private group, Shabbat Crew, to learn more about the Kabbalah of this time. Okay. So Page of Pentacles, pages are the youthful aspects of the suit. They're the ones with the open mind in regards to the element that's being pulled. So here we have Pentacles. This is the suit of mind to matter. It's the suit of manifestation. The Page of Pentacles is the one who has a fresh idea, who hopefully will keep an open mind to receive new creative ideas, new creative perspective, to be able to manifest a new project, which leads to a new way of living, because a new project invites new ideas, invites new concepts, invites new opportunities into our lives. So if this is the focus right now, it's saying, how can we renew? How can we refresh? How can we bring a fresh perspective to what it is we're already doing? And how can we see that maybe what we're doing is maybe not the best thing? Maybe we need a whole new idea altogether. But the idea right now is about an open mind in our process. Whether you're starting a completely new project or you're digging deeper into one that you've already had going on. How can we bring a fresh perspective into the creative process right now? Okay, I feel now is the time to pull the second card. So I'm pulling one beneath it, and we'll talk about that in a minute. Okay, so really ask yourself, what have I been doing in the same old ways? How can I, by having a different way of going about this process, completely change the next stage of my life, the next chapter of my life? So it's really right now about keeping an open mind. This is the key. Let's talk about what this card looks like in the shadows or in the darkness for some of us who are more on the challenge end of the spectrum than the gift. It could look like writer's block, or it could look like a block in creativity, as though I've been working, I've been doing, and nothing's changing. Okay, it could look like I don't know where I want to go next. I don't know what I want to do next. So it's important to really refresh our idea or belief of why are we even here? What are we even here to manifest? If you feel stuck, go back to square one. Remind yourself of who you are and why you're here, so that you can return to the question of what should I be doing right now, only when you have a solid foundation in the knowing of who you are and why you're here. We are all here to create, to manifest the same thing. It's heaven on earth. And it's like, wow, how do we manifest that? We talk about this all the time, every week, you guys. Manifesting heaven on earth is simply bringing more light into this world. And what is that light? It's the light of the virtues. So we are, simply put, we are all here to be an embodiment of that light, the light of the virtues. That's it, period. Very simple. And so whatever you're doing, it should be with the intention of embodying that light. So it doesn't matter if you have an office job and you're sitting at a desk, or you're a spiritual entrepreneur or a babysitter, or whatever you're doing. You have opportunities all day to be that virtuous person, to be that righteous embodiment of virtuous light. So, and if you feel that whatever you're doing, a project or a job or a role, if you feel it truly doesn't bring any opportunity to embody that light of the virtues, then it's time to reconsider what you're doing. It's time to remember why you're here. But that's more rare. Chances are, whatever job you have, whatever role you're playing, there are opportunities all day to be kind, to be honest, to be supportive. Okay, that's really it. It's simple. We try to make this big deal out of it, but when we come back to the simplicity of this idea that we're all here to just bring heaven to earth, it sounds grandiose. It sounds like a lot of us think right away, well, that's not even achievable. That's got to shift. That's got to shift. And the way that that shifts is by bringing it back to the simple knowing that bringing heaven to earth is just embodying the light of the virtues. That's it. So simplify. And the message that I'm getting right now is that whoever's more on the challenging end of this focus right now, which we were talking about, translates into feeling a creative block or not knowing where to go next. If that's you, chances are you're not resting in that place of understanding the simplicity of what it really means to bring heaven to earth. Because if you really just bring it back to that space and you really just focus on being a good person, doing good deeds, doing acts of kindness, you can immediately feel full of purpose and feel fulfilled and feel like you're using your energy in a constructive way. Immediately. It's like we have all these ideas for ourselves because of society and all the pressure put on us that we need to do this or be that. But really, all we need to do is be ourselves. All we need to be is ourselves. The trick is, we just need to know what that self is, and that self is light. The self that we must truly reflect on is the self that is eternal, which is light. That's our true essence. That's our true nature, is that eternal light. And that light is the light of the virtues. That's what it is. So if you could, for just today, just focus on letting go of all of these expectations you have for yourself and the pressures of society, and just say, today I'm going to be a good person. I'm going to be as kind as I can be. I guarantee you this is the fastest way to fulfillment. It is the fastest way to feeling fulfilled. Whether you're going through relationship struggles with friends or a lover or a family, or you're going through struggles with your job, whatever yucky feelings you're having, the fastest way to dissipate them and to also neutralize that frequency of what you're feeling is to be kind. Be kind. If you dedicate yourself to doing acts of kindness today, I guarantee you will feel better, because you won't be so focused on all of the negative details of the situation you're experiencing. You won't be focused on blame or shame or guilt, blame of yourself or blame of another. Instead, you will be so focused on doing the right thing, and that's the best you can do. And when we're doing our best, we feel good. I'm doing my best. Hey, I'm doing my best. And then what happens is you get in that space of doing your best and in that space of virtue. And then when you have to come back to those hard moments of having those difficult dialogues around a challenge in a relationship, for example, or a challenge with your boss or a coworker, you feel more relaxed to be able to be vulnerable and transparent. You're able to then say, yeah, I messed up, or, I'm really feeling this way, because you're already in a space of empowerment because you've been doing your best. You've been doing these good deeds. And when you do acts of kindness, they tip the scale. They neutralize all the energy so that things don't have to feel so heavy anymore. What it really means to do our best is to just be a good person and do acts of kindness. We can all do that. We are all capable of that. Okay, so remember, right now the focus is about, Page of Pentacles, new ideas, bringing new life into our projects and our creative endeavors. But no matter where you are within that process, it's important to come back to square one, to really come to your center, remember who you are and why you're here, so that you can be sure all of your intentions for manifestation are aligned with that truth of who you are and why you're here. Because then when you start from that space, all the false stuff falls away. All of the illusions fall away of Maybe you wanted something so badly up until this point, but when you return to who you really are and why you're here, you see that that intention is futile. That intention is silly. It's not even really going to bring you sustainable happiness or prosperity. But when we remember who we really are and why we're here, and the greater purpose that we all share, which is to manifest heaven on earth, then we can come back with a clear mind and realize what parts of what we've been doing are actually helpful toward that goal and what parts are only bringing us temporary satisfaction. So let's come back to that place and remember before we dig any deeper into this creative process, whatever it is that you have going on. Because the theme behind it all is the same. We're all working on different things, but when we remember that we're all here to actually work on the same one thing through whatever we're doing, it brings everything back into perspective. Okay, so I pulled that other card while we were doing that. And this card is about why? Why are we doing this? Why are we going through this Page of Pentacles? And we kind of just talked about it. So let's see how the cards want to elaborate. Beautiful. It's going to back up everything we just said. See, that's why you have to follow your heart, you guys. When a lot of you guys who watch these videos are interested in doing tarot for yourself or learning about how to identify these symbols in your own life. And so you got to trust your intuition with tarot. There's no set way to do a layout, really. That's the truth. So when you feel, I shouldn't pull a card right now. Oh, now's the time. Follow that. Follow that, because it will only add meaning to your reading. Okay, just a little side note. So Queen of Pentacles, she's of the same suit. She's the heart of the suit. She's the feelings and emotions around the matter. And here the matter is manifestation. It's about the creative process. She's the heart of manifestation. So she really confirms everything we just said, that when we are struggling to have that open mind, to have a fresh perspective in our creative endeavors, to decide what projects we should get into, she's the one that reminds us, hold on, remember why you're doing it. Remember the whole reason. Come back to your heart, right? Like we said, come back to your center. Remember who you are and why you are here. The truth is found in your heart. That's where it is. So if you want to remember who you are and why you're here so that you could be sure your projects are aligned with that, the Queen is the one to consult. She is the one in you that is the heart of the matter of manifestation. She is the one where we go within and we ask ourselves, what am I really feeling? What is my heart feeling about all this? What is my highest self who resides in my heart feeling about this? What does that one within have to say about all of this? She's the one in us that makes sure that our heartstrings are tied into our reality. You've heard the quote, be in this world, but no, you're not of it. We're in this world, but not of this world, right? And that is a big quote to consider when pulling any card from the suit of Pentacles. Because the suit of Pentacles is about mind to matter, creative manifestation. We're here to be so fully immersed in this experience with all of our senses, yet remembering where we came from and where we will return, staying healthily detached, knowing this will all fade away, yet giving our fullest self to this experience, being fully present in the experience. So she reminds us to really tune in and ask ourselves, is what we're getting involved with in this material reality, including our relationships, because it's still bodies, it's still the material world, physical world, is what we're giving our energy to in this material realm feeding our values and our beliefs? Is it supporting our values and our beliefs? Our heart should be in everything that we do. She helps us to feel into all of the people, places, and situations that we've given our energy to and really ask, is this for the highest good of what is in my heart, which is that light, the light of who we all are, where we meet as one. She moves from that space. She thinks from that space, from the heart. Okay, so we're doing this, we're reconsidering what we're giving our creative energy to. Opening up our minds, opening up our hearts so that we can make sure we're manifesting a reality that serves the heart. And some of you may be thinking, well, yeah, I've really done a good job with that. I've been doing really good with that. How can you do better? How can we do better? And that's really a lot of the Kabbalah of what's going on right now with the high holidays. So please join our private group, Shabbat Crew, to learn more. But this is the time of the year where we're in a seasonal shift, right? So depending on where you are in the world, it's either spring or it's fall. And so we're going through a time of transition. It's a time to reconsider, right? There's spring cleaning and there's autumn cleaning. It's a time to reconsider who we are and to refine. And no matter where you are, even if you think I've got this down, there's always better. We can always do better. We can always refine. We're being given an opportunity now to refine the ways in which we think, speak, and act to better align with a reality in reflection of the light of our hearts, in reflection of truth and love and light and life and blessing. How can we weave that more into our material and physical experience? And the ally of the week is the letter Hey. Remember, it's going to be flipped on the camera. So if you want to Google the letter, just type in Google Hebrew letter Hey, H-E-I. And I love that this is the ally of the week. I see it perfectly. Okay, so Torah reference here, okay? Avram and Sarai become Avraham and Sarah, adding an H to their name or a Hey to their name when they become parents. And everything is symbolic in the Torah, right? So it's saying that that new light within upgraded them, right? It was like, it gave them this higher quality because they're now stepping into this initiation as parents, right? The Hey is all about that. The Hey is all about receiving the breath of God, receiving that light. Okay, the hieroglyphic symbol for the Hey is like a man with his hands raised up like this in praise, right? Acknowledging the Most High. So with the Hey as our ally, it's saying, hey, wake up. How can we acknowledge, praise the Most High, praise the light, which is goodness, which is the light of the virtues, praise kindness, praise goodness, praise love, praise supporting one another. How can we praise those higher qualities, acknowledging them and weaving them into our plans, into our prayers, into our creative endeavors? How can we receive the breath of God like Sarah and Avraham? How can we receive that initiation? It doesn't mean you have to become parents, but what does that represent when someone becomes pregnant or a couple becomes pregnant? It's a creative endeavor. They're birthing a new world, right? So what are you birthing right now? And how can you receive that extra light as support as you move into this process of birthing whatever it is? First, considering what is it that I'm birthing? Is it going to be in support of that light? Because if it's not, I can't even receive that light because light works for the light. So first, making sure it's in alignment because light serves light. Is my intention serving that light that is eternal? Because otherwise, it's not reaching its full, I'm not reaching my fullest potential. So making sure that your endeavors are in alignment with that, and then opening to receive that light, that gift of this initiation that you're about to step into, that extra support. Okay, so the Hey is saying, hey, first acknowledge the Most High, and then open up to receive that light to support you in your mission. This is the ally of the week. The Hey is literally like the breath of God. You hear it when you say it, right? You guys have heard the name of God before, Yud Hey Vav Hey. 2 Heys in there. Hey is the breath of the Creator. So it's saying, how can you take a deep one in? How can you take a deep breath in? How can you receive that energy, receive that life force? First of all, you can only, the degree to which you can open is the degree to which you believe in that light. If you don't even believe in that light, how are you going to open to receive it? You have to believe in it. You have to be in resonance with it. You have to make sure that all that you're working on manifesting is serving that light. First of all. And when you really know it's there and you really believe in it, that's when you can take a deep breath and know that what you're receiving in that breath is the power of that force. Okay, so ally of the week, breath of God, breath of the Creator. Hey, take it in, breathe it in, take in all the support you can, and know that the more you serve the Most High, the more you will have support. Life serves life. When we work for the elements work for us. When we work for nature, nature works for us. Okay, so just summarizing the whole thing here. We got 2 cards from the same suit and the hay. It's a time to really keep an open mind as we either start new projects or go deeper with ones we're already involved with, meaning relationships, job, all projects, all creative things that we're invested in our material reality right now. Really making sure that we start off with an open mind, connecting the mind to the heart, coming to our center, remembering what we're really here to create, all of us the same, heaven on earth, which means embodying the light of the virtues. We're all here to do that. So how can we all do that in unique ways through whatever projects we're involved with right now? Meaning, again, relationships, career, etc. Taking in that breath of God, first acknowledging why we're doing all this. Hey, high, the Most High. Embracing that, right? Hands up, praising that, embracing that, taking a deep breath in, receiving that support from the Most High, to be able to refine this process, to be able to be carried through with grace, this process that we're experiencing right now. Remembering we're supported as we take that breath. Remembering we're supported. Remembering that we can calm down. Remembering that it's not all in our own hands, that it's in the hands of the Creator. The hay reminds you of all of that. It reminds you to, I don't want to say look up, because there really is no direction. God is everywhere, within and all around. But it's reminding you to acknowledge the Most High. Acknowledge the Most High. And just in that acknowledgement alone, we open to receive that support. So it's saying, hey, acknowledge me. Hey, wake up, acknowledge me. Okay? I also want to point out one more thing. The hay is connected to Arcanum 5 in the tarot, and that's the Hierophant. Hay, Hierophant. And the Hierophant, in short, is all about the guru within, or the heart. Hey, heart. It's all about the truth within, beyond dogma, beyond control and everyone else's ideas of what's right. It's about tuning into what you know is right, which ultimately is universal truth, universal law that lives within our hearts. Hey, hearts Most High. Okay? So think about that. Think hey, think heart. Who lives there? The One. And then return to your creative process and get it done. Awesome. I'm ready to make my own list of how this relates to my life personally. I don't know about you guys, but that's what I'm going to be doing now. So I invite you to do the same. You can take out a little piece of paper before moving into the rest of the next part of your day, and just write down, what am I working on right now? What are the relationships? Maybe you want to write down the names. What are the relationships or the projects or the intentions that I'm invested in right now? And how can I connect them to my heart, or to the one heart, to the greatest purpose of bringing heaven to earth? So what that could look like, let's talk about an example. You might say, something I'm working on is losing weight, right? I feel like that's one that like everybody in our society is. I'm growing a baby right now, so I'm definitely not concerned with that. But I think that's such a common one that we hear about, right? There are so many gimmicks and diets and this and that. So a lot of people might write that down on their list. That's the project I'm working on, is losing weight. And then you want to ask yourself, am I able, and be honest, am I able to connect that to the purpose of bringing heaven to earth? Am I able to connect that to the intention of the one heart? And maybe you are. Maybe you say, you know what? Yeah, I can justify that intention for sure, because I can be a healthier me when I'm not obese. I can be a healthier me when my blood sugar, my blood pressure is right, when I'm in balance and I need this. Or maybe there's a part of you in your gut that says, I actually really don't need that. I actually need to be gaining weight right now. Maybe I've actually had an issue with thinking I need to lose weight, and that's really unhealthy. It's a time to really, when you hold your intentions up to that ultimate truth, it really sheds light on all the self-deception in our intentions. You know what I'm saying? So write down, start off honestly, just write it out. Really, what have your intentions been? And then hold them up to that prime intention that we collectively share of bringing heaven to earth. Is it really going to contribute to that? Is what you're working on right now going to bring more light into your life and into our collective life? Because if not, it's never going to bring you sustainable success or prosperity. Okay? So, and do that with all of your intentions. You might say, something I'm working on is this new relationship right now, right? Like a lot of you are maybe entering new relationships. Ask yourself, is that relationship going to serve the Most High? And the thing is this, you guys, you might say, well, why do I really need to do that? Why? If you think about it, whatever you're trying to manifest, if you connect it to that higher purpose, it will rush to you. The Creator will say, oh, and nature, all the forces of nature and the cosmos will say, rush this to them, because they need this for us. Because remember, life supports life. That's the trick to manifestation. This is why, no matter what, the first rule of magic, you cannot use your magic to serve the small self alone. It just won't work. You inevitably will learn the lesson. You will not achieve that success that your soul is really here to achieve. It's impossible. Every real magician knows this. So know it. And remember, you've got to do this process periodically where you return to that intention of bringing heaven to earth. This intention that we all share. And if what you're doing, if you can't find any connection between any one of your intentions and this grand plan of bringing heaven to earth, bringing light into the world, if you can't find any thread of relativity or connection, let it go. It's a worthless pursuit. You're fighting against all the forces of nature and the cosmos when you do that. So again, right now, the activation is telling us this is the time, right now more than ever, to write down your list of intentions and all the things that you're involved with in your material reality, all of your projects, your relationships, and then ask yourself with each one, how is this going to bring more light, the light of goodness, the light of virtue into my life and into the world? And know and trust that if you can't find any way that it's going to bring that light into your life, it's just not worthy. It's not good for any one part of the one. Because when we are able to use our lives and the situations in our lives as a ritual to bring more light into this world, only then do we really feel fulfilled and feel like we're living our purpose, because we all share that purpose. But trust, if your relationships or your projects are not bringing more light into the world, you're going to continue to sink. You're going to continue to feel crappy. You'll even feel sick all the time. Those around you will feel crappy. And it's just going to lead to nothing. So do yourself a favor and really look deeply at whether or not what you're involved with in this life right now is going to bring more goodness to the world, more light to the world. Otherwise, you will just not ever reach that level of fulfillment that all of us are striving to reach. Period. That's it. Period. Doesn't matter what excuse you could try to bring up. It's all ego trying to justify holding on to toxic habits and unsustainable ways of living. Okay, so the Hey just reminds us of who we are and why we're here. It reminds us that we have the breath of the Creator, the breath of Source, the breath of God available to us at all times. It's within us at all times. Let's remember that we are holy beings that are here to bring heaven to earth. And if you guys have any insights you want to share about how this is relating to your life, or just to provide more perspective for the collective, please also join us in our private group, the Archetypal Alliance. That's where we share in between weekly activations. And again, the other group is called Shabbat Crew. That's where we talk about Kabbalah, Jewish mysticism. That applies to anyone, who wants to receive those codes. And thank you so much to everyone who's been ordering my book and writing reviews for my book. I love reading your reviews. Please reach out to me if you want a signed copy of my book. I'm happy to ship them to you wherever you are. And if you guys would be so kind, I would appreciate it if you could write a review on my page, facebook.com/royalpathtarot, or private message me a review or email me a review of the readings. If you've been coming to these activations, or if this particular activation has moved you, please consider giving back by writing a review, or you might want to consider making a donation. The links are always shared on my wall here on Facebook. So thank you so much to everyone who's been making donations, big and small. They all mean so much. I've been doing these activations as a free offering for years now, and I will continue to, because I love them and I love this beautiful community. And I really do appreciate all the ways in which you guys have given back to me over the years. I also have put together little altar kits. I have more magician kits available right now. I also have high priestess kits available right now, and they come with little charms that invoke the qualities of that archetype. So they're made for your altar. If you want to see what they look like, you can scroll down on my wall here, facebook.com/royalpathtarot, or private message me and I can send you pictures of them and I can ship them to you again, wherever you are. All right, you guys, make that list. Really go through what your intentions are and ask, are they really going to contribute to the plan of bringing heaven to earth? Are they really going to contribute to bringing more goodness into your life and our collective life, your world and our collective world? Yay. I love you guys. Have an awesome week ahead. Shalom.